As is often the case when I get new gear, I started off my hunt at the range, this time with a new Bering Optics Super Hogster LRF. It is a 3.5x native magnification thermal weapon sight. It's got a 35mm objective lens. It's 384 by 288 resolution, 12 micron, less than 35 net DMK thermal sensitivity. You can run it on 4AA batteries, which I'll talk about in a later video. It's got a laser rangefinder on it, and it's got a app where you can customize one of the reticles to your liking. And I will be sighting in some Sierra Pro Hunter 120 grain bullets loaded by Druid Hill Armory into Starline brass that they think is going to be about 2,600 feet per second. So here I am at 100 yards, and I'd use some trash ammo to get basic zero on the scope. And while painting the targets, wasp came flying out of this steel target, and they were pissed. Apparently shooting the target makes them really mad. And so I did all my sighting in from a distance, so to speak, because I would take a shot, check to see how close it was, make an adjustment, pick another spot on the target, shoot, see how close it was, make an adjustment, and so on. And I couldn't get close to the targets to get into the paint because of the wasps, and so I had to do it this way, ending up with what I would consider to be a soft 100-yard zero. I can't see exactly where I'm hitting, but it's within about, half an inch to an inch, so I think I'm good. I did a couple more shots after that picture, and the shots appeared to be on target, so I checked the chronograph, and I'm coming in at 2,650 feet per second, about 50 feet per second more than was expected. That is outstanding. Here I am on the first property of the night. You can see there's already a foggy haze forming in off to the right up in the sky. You can see the clouds moving in from the north. We're going to have storms later, and that's going to impact my hunting. So after a little while with no hogs here, I'd gotten a phone call from a landowner saying he had hogs on his property, so I head down to his property, Carpe Sus. I come sneaking into the property, creeping along the driveway, come to one of the little hay pastures, and I've got hogs out here at about 130 yards according to the laser rangefinder. The wind isn't a problem, but they are heading off property at this point, and I want to get a shot while I can. However, my opening two shots are going to be a little more dodgy than I would like, and the hogs are not going to go down. That's not what I want to see on the opener. I don't see that one fall either. And then things will start to pick up right here. That one goes down. This one connects, and that hog ends up about 350 yards off property, I believe. We'll talk about that later. And the reason why you aren't seeing more of the hogs is because the field is planted in coastal Bermuda, and it's about knee-high at this point. And so the little ones you can't hardly see except when they're hopping through the air when they run. I followed on this hog. I finally get a shot right here. And it connects, and I don't think I ever found that hog. This next hog appears to be limping. I don't recall having shot it previously, but it's down now. Recently I was involved in an online discussion about the capabilities of thermal, and one gentleman was saying you can't hide from thermal. That's one of the advantages of it. And as you can see from this field, yes, you can hide from thermal. If you are below the height of the grass, you can disappear completely. I don't see any of the hogs I've shot. That is just amazing to me. So I'm going to have to search for these hogs, and what I'm going to do is start with the hog that I last remember going down, and that's going to be this big old boar. I figure this is probably the big hog of the night, and it would look best if it was posed with the rifle with the new scope on it, so I need to head back and get my rifle, and along the way I passed this sow, so I found a sow. That's cool. So this map shows where the two hogs are down in red. Where I was shooting from is the green dot over here. And in my search for the hogs, I've had my headlamp on, but before I break down the rifle and take it over to the hogs, I'm going to scan with my infrared finder from Tech Savvy Optics to see if there are any hogs in the field. And lo and behold, I've got hogs in the field. Not only that, they're right over there by my downed hogs, which means I passed by fairly close to them. So I get on my rifle, scan over, drop the first hog, drop the second hog. Look at all the piglets. That's a bare spot of ground right there where you can see the piglets. The first hog is thrashing about, but it finally goes down. Scanning for targets. And that was actually two hogs side by side. One is down, the other takes off running. And I track on this hog. And I think I'm going to get a shot on it. Not on this side of the tree, it doesn't look like, so I'm going to pan over and wait for it to cross the other side. I get distracted by the hog in the foreground. But I go back to the distant hog, and without leading the hog, take a shot, waste that shot, and that's my last shot of the night. And everything else has just absolutely disappeared on me. I know I have a bunch of hogs down, but I can't see a single one of them. And I've got lightning flashing above me as I start my search. I ended up searching for these hogs for about an hour before giving up. Here you can see the storm moving in. I'm down at the blue dot. The storm's moving towards me, and I've got lightning above me at this point.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
At this point, thermal is doing me almost no good in finding the hogs. I can't see the hogs unless I'm just about on top of them, so I'm using my Army Tech headlamp in order to find depressions in the grass where the hogs have thrashed about in their death throes in order to find where the dead hogs are. And this isn't going well because the grass isn't even, and there's lots of areas that look like hogs may be down. But that's how I'm trying to find the hogs, and in the process, I only come away with 3 hogs this first night. The first one was the 240-pound boar, followed by the 155-pound sow. And then I also found this 90-pound boar way out there about 155 yards, my long shot of the night. So I came back the next day in the sunlight, hoping the buzzards would help out, and they certainly did. Found 4 more hogs, this 130-pound boar. And I must say the weights on these hogs are completely guessed. They're slightly bloated at this point. I've subtracted for that, but I'm just guessing the weights on these that are not exact at all, and I did no necropsy work whatsoever. There on the top map on the right, you can see the locations of the hogs found. And this last hog, well, I don't know if this is a hog or not. The buzzards are on something right there. This appears to be the neighbor's field, the direction which the one hog ran that I had shot. So I think this may be my downed hog. If so, that would make 8 for the night, but I'm only counting 7. Carpe sus, my friends.